Alright, what's up, guys? It's your futuristic Dragon Ball Z fighter Chrome. Right now, I just want to be real, and I just want to, I thought I just should just, talk to you guys about a little something that's been going through my head. And, I've always wondered, where's the love, and when are we going to stop fearing and hating each other? You know what I'm saying? And, and then when we love each other, right? When we tend to love each other, for some reason we just can't trust each other. And when we fear each other, we love when we love when one loves when the other is beneath them, or when they think that they're beneath you. I mean, no, when all right, look, for some reason people can't trust each other. They fear each other when they love each other, and they can't trust each other. But when you fear each other, both of you guys are happy simply because you both think that each one thinks that the other is beneath them for some weird reason. And then that comes into what the two questions for me when it comes into play. The most basic you can get down to probably the I'm trying to really explain it. All right, what is fear and what is love? That's what I'm here to talk about in this video, honestly, because people tend to get the two mixed up. And people think that the right way is the wrong way and the wrong way is the right way, and all ways in between. So, that's all right. So, I want to give you fear first. Fear is frightened of someone, afraid of someone, petrified of someone. These are just different words to explain fear. So it's really, in a way, it's I'm trying to put an image in you guys in y'all heads. Fear is when you're frightened of someone. You're afraid of what they could potentially do to you, do to something that you own, do to someone else, and you're just basically afraid. You don't want a specific thing to happen to a specific person, place, or thing, and you just really don't want it to happen, and you don't want anything or anybody to get hurt. That's what fear is. I don't I'm not an expert, but from what my understanding is and my experiences with fear, fear is something that when you feel it, it's a mixture of pain, it's a mixture of a little bit of guilt, and then a lot of it, if you don't prevent what you don't want to happen, guilt comes in. um you just you just feel a surge of just you're just afraid. And I don't know, and when you fear someone, that most of the time, I'm just gonna say a good 96, 97% of the time with people around you, it depends on where you live. Like for me, 90 something percent, a good 90 something percent of people around me, excluding my family and very close friends, they just want to see me beneath them, or they want me to fear them. They want me to think that I'm beneath them. Want me to think that I'm beneath them, and they're gonna think that I'm beneath them, and that's practically not true. And what they want to be other people. They want to be praised, like they're some deities or something. Or first of all, I'm not trying to bring religion into this, and I'm not going to. But that's how they want to seem. They want to seem like they rule your life with fear. And when you come to people with fear, people aren't willing to do what you want them to do, which means half of everybody's gonna rebel, and you're gonna have to take care of the situation in a harmful and just a very violent way, possibly. Or you just got people who aren't willing to follow you and will have do they won't put much effort into what they're doing, or they're going to have to, but you're putting pressure on them, which will delay their work, and you're not getting any results from it. All you're getting is the power that you think is there. all you're feel eventually gonna fill a hole in your heart trying to make people afraid of you when you're afraid of someone else's potential. That's why people want you to fear them, because they're afraid at the same, like when people try to bully you or something, or peer pressure, or they're just trying to continuously bully you and stop you from focusing on your work. That's because they're afraid of who you could be, who you are, and just everything about you in general. And love is the complete opposite. Love, love, from my understanding of love, love is loyalty, honor, um, loyalty, honor, and courage, and compassion. And compassion is being able to understand someone, have sympathy, and have empathy for one, uh, when they go through something. Like, for example, I'm a person where I'm all about empathy and sympathy. And, like, how I'm going to have to break this down is not too simple. It's going to be a little complex, which is why I'm going to get kind of into detail. Um, Sympathy is feeling what someone, like, feeling. This is what I understand from this. Sympathy is feeling the pain of another person. You can feel how they feel. And empathy, I believe, is you being able to understand it and then being able to portray the image in your head. Like, you have an understanding of how they feel, and you're able to put the image of how they feel and relate it to how you feel. You could just have the images of that going on in your head. And as I said before, sympathy is you feeling the pain of one suffering, and then, which I said, leads into empathy, which leads to you being able to understand it. And there goes, like, in a way, a bond, to strengthen a bond and to begin a bond. And that's what love is about, bonds. Fear is about cutting yourself off and disconnecting yourself from the world, detaching yourself, cutting off everything, and you're just focused on yourself in a way. And when you become fearful, you become a little self-centered, a little somewhat egotistical, to try to hide that fear. Love, you can just be yourself, and you won't have to worry about having a persona to fuel your life or purpose that you want to have to serve who you are, and you won't have to front and all that stuff, which is why I don't understand why people fear other people when you shouldn't, really. And we should just all get to know each other. We should all just get to know each other. Like, stop fearing each other, stop trying to make other people fear you, and let's actually just think. Okay, look, we have governments, correct? We have democracy. We have, I think, I forget the other, the systems of power and all that stuff. But what I'm saying is, us as citizens, should respect each other. It doesn't matter where you're at. If you're not the king, or if not anyone in that power, you shouldn't really have any say, or really anybody shouldn't have any say over how you live your life. In terms of just like you making your own decisions, to being able to work, or being able to buy yourself something like that. You know what I mean? No one should be able to tell you what to do in terms of that. And that's where fear plays in. People want you to fear them, even though they're not they're not a divine figure. They're not. We're all only human. And yes, we do make mistakes. And this is why we should love each other even more, because we know that we can help. Look, the more mistakes we make, the more we learn. But at the same time, don't make too many mistakes to the point where they become consistent. And then you're just doing them intentionally, or you just don't care about whether or not it's intentional or not, and you just go about it the wrong way. Don't do that. This may sound like I'm complaining, but it's just true. You know what I mean? Don't go around trying to make people fear you, because you're not going to get any good results. Okay? The only way to do that is you have to genuinely help people. Make your community a better place. And don't look, whenever stand up for the right thing, no matter what. The right thing is just start by cleaning up, whatever was littered around. Like somebody litters, clean it up. It doesn't matter who made the mess. Just clean it up, because at the end of the day, if whether or not it's your mess, you're cleaning up the mess regardless. You're cleaning up a mess regardless. You're making your streets, your home, your community, your neighborhood, your country a better place just by just simply cleaning up things, or trying to fix friendships, trying to help people, trying to make sure people get to live another day and see the light of day. One more day, one more year, one more lifetime. And that's what I am about. I am a huge pacifist. I do not react with violence, nor do I approach with violence. But if it comes to it, and that's my only choice, I will have to resort to it. But most of the time, or almost all the time, I don't ever have to resort to violence, due to me just being the person that I am, and I'm able to talk things out. Because it's just like this. We don't have to fear each other to get to know each other. You don't have to know about people and then make them afraid of you. Okay? Try to get to know them, and tell them about the mistakes that they've made, instead of punishing them like you're their judge, jury, and executioner. We have the courts for that. If you commit a crime, a felony, whatever the case may be. Okay? If you're not in the Supreme Court, if you're not in any court, or whatever the case, if you're not working as a lawyer, if you're not working as any of that, you're just a regular hard-working citizen, you have no absolute right to be saying something about what people do, because at the end of the day, what people do shouldn't affect you. Okay? So stop complaining about how other people, with simple things that they do, inflict your life. Okay? Because at the end of the day, we all make our own choices. Some of them aren't our own choices, but we have to make our choices, and if we regret them, I'm sorry to say, but like, it's never good to have any regrets. But if you do things in your life that you regret, just be sure to learn from it, and just love yourself for who you are, no matter what. Okay, like it doesn't really matter what race what race you are, what creed you come from, what country you come from, what backstory or origin you have. It doesn't really matter what tongue you speak. It just matters about the type of person that you are. And remember the species that we are, right? We used to call ourselves the center of the universe back in the olden days, right? And we're not. Really, we're not, because the universe could give a crap less about us. Really, we all feel the same way towards each other. Instead of trying to help each other, we just think, oh yeah, the world can rot and go to hell for all I care. Like, no, that's not what we were built here to do. We were built to help and protect each other, and work together, and coexist in harmony. Well, at least that's what I believe. My mom always told me, it's good to try to defend people and do the right thing, but you can't do that for everybody. Sometimes you gotta let people fight their own battles sometimes. You can't do it for everybody, you know what I mean? Because what if you're not there one day and you can't save them, and something happens? What are you gonna do about that? Are you gonna sit there and beat yourself up over something that you couldn't do, or that you couldn't help, or just let it just move on, and let a new day be the next one? You know what I mean? And then I thought about that, and I know those words are very true, but at the same time, it's like I've been sitting on my butt and letting people try to fight their own battles, in which it never works. You just sit there, and then you watch your friends, just watch innocent people get bullied, or whatever the case may be, and you sit there doing that for many years, and you're just over here like, yo, I could have really sat here and did something. You know what I mean? I love these people. I love people. I love nature. You know what I mean? I wouldn't step on a flower. You know what I mean? Like, if I see a flower there, like right now it's the summer, I literally try to curve my way around it, because I don't want to step on it. It's a part of life. We're a part of life. You get what I mean? Like, I'm a very soft and passionate and compassionate person, but at the same time, I do have my rough edges when it comes to protecting the people that I love and standing up for the right thing and standing up for myself as well. Because I'm not about to sit here and let anyone just sit here and walk over me like they own me. Do you look? The question, look, if people mess with you in school, wherever, at work or whatever, you should ask them, do you pay my bills? Do you put my clothes on my back? Do you give me do you buy my food for me? You get what I mean? If you don't do any of those things, if you don't even help me pay my rent, if you don't if like and if you don't like and if do you pay to make sure that I still have a house over my head? Because if you don't do any of those things, if you don't do any of that, don't come judging me. Look in the mirror every day before you walk out of your house, right? Ask yourself. Just ask yourself this. All right. All right, I'm going out for the day, right? All right, the way my day goes is just going to be the way it goes, right? But if someone criticizes me, how am I going to react to it? Or should I even criticize people? What are my perceptions on people? If I don't like people and if I don't trust them, what's the reason? You gotta have a reason for anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like a good reason. Because if you have a petty reason, you might as well just squash that and have to deal with life, man. Honestly. Pick up yourself. Like, if you're a grown man, you trying to work and you blaming your mistakes on other people, you're screwing up, buddy. I'm sorry to say, but it's true. Because I hate one of the things that I hate more than anything is when people blame their mistakes on you and therefore they take it out on you, or they just take it out on you because they don't have anything else to help release their stress, and so they turn to you and just start messing around with you because they think, oh yeah, this is helping me feel better about myself, making other people feel miserable because I feel the same exact way. What kind of bull is that? Why is that even a thing? Why would you go after someone and try to make their life so bad because it makes you feel better about your situation? What? That sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Yes, it's a part of life, and I have to deal with that every single day, and I still ask myself that same exact question when I walk out this door, or my house door. You get what I mean? That's just how I feel about it. Honestly. Like, it's just like, what's the point? What's the point of hating on others? You get what I mean? What's the point of hating on others when everything I could ever have, I can get it myself? Why do I have to envy others when I can go and get my stuff myself? Or wait for the perfect time to come so that way I can get it myself? That's what every person has to learn. Don't blame. Look, just be accountable for your own actions is just what I'm saying. Just be accountable for your own actions. Don't complain. You know what I mean? And if you gotta, look, I know everybody vents. We all vent. Like right now, I'm venting. It sounds like I'm complaining probably to you guys, but for me, it really doesn't matter because this is just one of the things I'm sick and tired of. Like fear and love, right? Fear is that one of the, I just pulled up a scenario too without really thinking about it. Like, if you think you have to make people miserable to feel better about your current situation or just how you feel about yourself, period, you're afraid of that person because you think that you have the feeling that they think that they're better than you. And it might not even be like that. But if you think that they have a huge ego, that's where you're wrong. You're just afraid of just who they could be, who they are, who they were probably, and you don't even have to know any of that. Because really, you're afraid of yourself. You're afraid of becoming like either like them or like someone else. So you decide to make someone else that level, so that way it's almost like a body switch. Or a mood switch, I can say, technically. Like, that's what you want to do? Yo, just go home. Just have a really long conversation with somebody, a therapist or something. Think about yourself for a second. Before you start hating on me or get jealous of me, start thinking about yourself for a minute. Think, Just think, what I'm doing now, or what I did earlier, or what I will do in the future, what I'm really thinking about doing in the future, is this all worth it? Is this all worth making other people miserable because I feel miserable? Is all of this worth losing my reputation for something stupid when you know, or when you should know, that you could be able to fix it? There's always a positive way to fix it. There is nothing, like, even when I get pessimistic, I am still super freaking optimistic. Even now, if it takes 1,000 years, 10,000 years, I swear to you, something's gonna happen with the world where we all live peaceful. I can promise you that. This world is evolving all the time, right? So I'm pretty sure in the next couple thousand years, hopefully we won't be too barbaric. Because right now, we're kind of sloppy. For the tech gen, I'm gonna call it technology generation, I guess. Super technology generation right now, just starting, coming up. But then that also sucks, because what I'm gonna be afraid of is potentially people being disconnected from their families, from the people that they love, and just they call, quote unquote, love their phones. You should be afraid of something happening to your family, and if your face is like freaking what, like, how can I say this? Like, your head is just deep into that phone. I'm sorry, but you got to be able to care about somebody. You should be able to care about yourself. You should love yourself with every ounce of your being, but don't love yourself too much to the point where you become an optimistic prick. I mean, no, my bad. Egotistical prick, my bad. Optimistic is always a good thing. Okay, forgive the mistake that I made. But, you know, having an ego, or too much of an ego, is where to get specific. Having too much of an ego is bad for anybody. Even I have my moments where I start bragging, or very rarely I become a sore winner, or I just brag a lot. I have my moments. Who hasn't had one? But it's just like this. What's the honest point other than to make someone feel miserable and to rub it in their face knowing that you're doing it, but have the gall to do it anyway? Never understood that, you know? And that's just basically how I feel about it. Fear, you're just trying to control things and not caring what people think about you, which is kind of a good thing, but at the same time not, because people are thinking bad things about you, could be plotting you, trying to harm you in some way. And you can be harmed. That's all I'm going to say. Fear is controlling events in a way, just basically just being irrational, trying to force people to do something, and in return they're afraid of you, and you just become a flat out tyrant. Now, love is having people respect you. They're loyal. They're willing to follow you into the flames or the inferno of the freaking cruel world that we live in. You know what I mean? Love is such a strong emotion that I think it should overpower and outshine instantly anything else, but no, it doesn't, for some weird reason. Fear is the thing that ruled this world. Money, drugs, sex, all that. But look, just learn to love each other. Be nice to each other. What is fear and what is love? Don't get the two mixed up. Because when you make people fear you, and then you're up in someone's face and say, "Oh, they love me," no, they don't. That's a front to please you. Love is if you got a crowd of people actually genuinely loving you for who you are, and not the image that you have as just a it's like a profile picture, basically. That's what your public image is. A profile picture on a social site like Twitter, YouTube, whatever the case may be. If you're as genuine as you should be, as genuine as the hearts of your audience is, then you're good. We should all be genuine with each other. But yet we still haven't learned how to do that. So we're gonna have to start from kindergarten stages. Sharing is caring. It is. But then at the same time, not all of it's true, because when you share some when you it's true but not true at the same exact time. How it's not true is when you share something with someone, you don't have to do it most of the time. People don't even do it out of genuine generosity. They just do it to make themselves look like they're performing a good deed, and they have good intentions behind it, or they're just doing it to please people, or they're just doing it because they don't want to, but they just like, oh, I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't care. He can have it. I don't even care. He can just do whatever and just off himself with it. But at the same time, what's true about sharing is caring is the simple fact that if you do care, you will have the intent to share positivity and optimism all around, and working together all around. Like when people on YouTube, when you get to know each other and you collab, you begin to have a relationship with that person to the point where you'll collaborate with them here on YouTube. And I'm not gonna lie, it's hard in any business, YouTube, Twitch, outside of the internet, just itself. The world is a cruel world, but just don't fear one another, because we're all humans, okay? Not one of us is some form of a deity, okay? Like, because if we were, one of us were, then okay, but I don't think we will be the prime deity. We'll probably be the sub ones if we were that. But no, we're not. We're all still humans, regardless of race, creed, origin, character. Well, now let's not include character, but just appearance. Just because of appearance, speech, then look, if you don't have a good character, you're just if you don't have character, if you're not a good person, if you're not a genuine person, you're just a very horrible person. And if you are that, then you have to learn how to respect people. You have to learn how to become a better person. And if you don't want to do it, that's on you. Okay? That's on you. If you want to go out there and still make people's life miserable, that's on you. I'm just saying there's a consequence for every action, and that's something we call karma. Whether or not you do something good, or whether you do something good or not, there's always a consequence. Good consequences are called rewards. Bad consequences, all I could think of, they're just called consequences. So there's always good karma and bad karma. So just stay true to yourself, stay true to other people, love each other, don't fear each other, because we're all human, we're all the same species, none of us is above one another. So let's stop acting like it, get the sticks up out of our butts, and let's just chill out and be people and love each other. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Oh, wait a minute. Before I leave, all I can say is this. For people who have suicidal thoughts, for people who think about doing things to themselves or other people because they are in the most distraught situation they could have ever been in their life, for those people, I dedicate this to suicidal people and just people who want to harm themselves, suicidal people, or other people, and they're in a very bad situation. Don't do it. Don't harm yourself. Don't harm other people, because no matter how many times you can tell yourself that, whether or not you're looking at the mirror, I can promise you with all of my heart that you have a bigger purpose. You have a purpose. We all do. It's just going to take some time to find it. And if you're trying to look for the one, I can promise you they'll be there for you. It's just, I've got to wait, and I'm wondering, why do I have to wait? If I'm a good person, I don't do anything horrible to get this kind of treatment, then why do I have to wait so long? You get what I mean? While all the bad people is getting the good stuff. Well, there's a reason. Because the bad people are going to screw up. They're going to screw up so badly that they won't ever have that same kind of love back. Ever. or that same kind of whatever they had back. They won't have that same mojo back. While us, we're going to have to struggle and earn our way and push our way through it. So don't don't just don't harm yourself or anyone else, please. I'm asking you. Okay? If you're not going to do this for yourself, if you're not going to do this for your family, do it for me. All right? Because a few times I've thought, what if I just never existed? How would everyone's life be? I'm thinking my mom, she would probably, because look, I have an older brother and older sister who are completely freaking grown. And me and my brother are the youngest, so we're still being raised by her until 3 more years. Which means she's probably going to be on her own trying to do stuff. But, like, if it wasn't for us, to be honest, she probably still wouldn't have the house that we have with, like, 2 bedrooms. And, like, she would probably just have a room in the house. I'm thinking, when my mom told me that, it's just like, so what she's saying is, if it wasn't for us, she probably wouldn't have done the great things that she's done over the past, I don't know, 15 years. And I don't know, just done so much. And me and my twin brother, we are the youngest, and we bring life to her every single day. And now that I realize that, it's like, all right, because I want to become a musician, I want to become an animator, I want to become a cartoonist, I want to become a writer. I'm already a poet. I want to have a career on YouTube. And I want to be able to do all these things and eventually become a professional. So that means I have to want to live. And if I really want it, I'm going to have to keep pushing through every single hardship, every single obstacle that comes across. So before you think about doing anything to yourself or other people, just think, who is really there for you? Just don't assume automatically that, oh yeah, no one's there for me, so I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. No, there's always someone there for you. You just got to go out there and look. Okay? And you're never alone. You're never alone. I can promise you that. So you could tell yourself you're by yourself. There's no one to help you. You could tell yourself that all you want. But I'm not about to sit here and believe for one freaking second, not even in my deathbed will I believe that you don't have a purpose and that you don't deserve to be here. No, all of us deserve to be here. Just not the evil people that roam this freaking earth and try to take away what belongs to us. And that's our freedom, our just us in general, just who we are and who we want to be. Don't let no one take that from you. Don't let any situation take that from you, because you always got friends, you always got somewhere. You just got to be willing to look. That's all you got to do. It's never easy, but it's never too hard. I'm still trying to do it. It's working a little bit. I'm gonna have to work on it though, and I'm pretty sure you can do it too. And never fear. You're always here. We're all heroes of our own story. And I have faith that we can all walk in the right path and eventually meet each other along the way to help each other build, to help each other construct a clearer path and a clearer vision. And I believe that with every single fiber of my heart. And I believe that you can believe as well. So, yeah, that'll be it. Fear is controlling something, and you're just forcing people to do stuff that they don't want to do. Love, you're helping people, you're helping each other build, and you're willing to do that. This is Chrome, and I'll be back with a blast from the past. See you in the next video.